Hey everyone, it's Mike here, and in today's video, you're going to find out how I have successfully run this SPS dominated reef tank behind me on a canister filter. Before we get started though, I want to say thank you to all of the subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button below. Also, thank you for those of you who have been leaving comments and questions in the comments section. It really does show me that there is an audience, and I really like engaging in the conversation. So, what have I been thinking about lately? Well, one of the things that I've noticed in this hobby is that there are so many different pathways to success. And by no means is this method here that I'm about to show you the best method ever. But what I want you to do is pay close attention to how much time it takes for me to maintain this canister filter. Pay close attention to what it takes to maintain this aquarium in show condition every single week. And I want you to evaluate for yourself whether or not this method is the method for you. So this comes at the request of some of our viewers here. Let's find out just how much work is involved in maintaining the canister filter on this reef tank. Let's go. Alrighty everyone, so for all intents and purposes on this video here, I've pulled out the canister filter out of my cabinet just so you can see what's going on here. So this here is an Oase Biomaster Thermo 600. It's a special filter because it contains a pre-filter chamber and the heater built in. So when I was looking for a filtration method here, I essentially selected something that could replace a sump. And if you think about it, this is an enclosed sump minus the skimmer. So what do I do here? Well, what I do is I unlock this little latch here. I pull out the pre-filter unit, just like this. And inside of here are 6 sponges. And those 6 sponges there trap all of the debris that flows throughout all of my tank. It's kind of like a filter sock if you think about it. All right, over here I've got a bucket, so all I have to do is open this here. I twist it and pull it out here, and then I place the skewer over here. Inside here, of course, you can see the sponges, and I tip the sponges into this bucket of tap water. So that's pretty much it. 6 sponges go into there. I give it a nice wring and a rinse. And you'll find that this pre-filter actually is extremely efficient because these sponges here are about 60 ppi, and that means that it not only traps the dirt, but it has to actually go through roughly around about 1 to 2 centimeters of filter layer before it actually goes into the rest of the filter. So it's a really efficient way of mechanically filtering your aquarium water. All right, so that's pretty much clean to me. And again, it only takes a few squeezes and that's it. So to put these back on, I could literally hold all the sponges on one hand and the skewer on the other. So I place it like this, just like this, and really it's just like threading a kebab, isn't it? Like that. And like so. Pick up the chamber again, place it back in there, closed up, put it back into the filter unit, and then hit the lock. So that's pretty much it. That takes roughly around about 2-ish minutes, and you can do this every 3 to 4 days like a filter sock if you want to aggressively filter your aquarium, or you can do it once a week if you want to have it balanced out with timing and filtration as well. So that's 2 minutes to clean the pre-filter unit on my canister filter. All right, everyone, the second part of my filtration system is the Tunze macro algae reactor. And this reactor performs the process of removing nitrates from my water column as the chaetomorpha grows. It also does consume a little bit of trace elements, which I continually dose as well. So this part here, I would say, is the second most efficient part of my filtration. The first being, of course, the mechanical filtration, which removes a lot of the organics from the water before they have a chance to break down and become dissolved organic compounds. This second part here handles denitrification through a very natural method. The other thing that's quite cool about this particular filter, of course, is that it maintains a stable pH in my aquarium because I run it on an opposite light cycle to my display. So as you can see here, it's a pretty solid unit. Let's open it up. And what it requires is just unthreading these 6 screws here, and then it's got a magnetic cap that you twist off like so. And I'm going to place this stuff inside of a bucket. So all I do every single week or every single fortnight, depending on how aggressive it's growing, is I just reach my hand in there, I pull out a little bit of Kato, and then I give that away to some fellow reefers. This particular unit here, if you start off with a ball like this, will probably fill up in around about 2 weeks. So it's a very efficient way of removing nitrates from the water. How long does that take? That roughly takes around about 2 to 3 minutes every single week to 2 weeks. Of course, you do need to maintain this. And of course, I'd say every single 6 weeks, I get a little bit of a sponge in there, and then I clean and wipe away the glass just so that there's no algae that's growing on the glass inside of the unit. So all up, I'd say on average, 3 minutes of work to maintain this unit. Okay, so on to the third part now of the cleaning process on this aquarium here. And it's one that I personally do every single week, but if you have a canister filter, you actually don't have to do this every single week. You can do this once a month or even 2 months because the function of these inflow-outflow pipes is not impeded if you don't clean them. So I clean them mainly for aesthetic reasons. All right, so someone asked me, how do I do this? I'm going to show you right now. So it starts off with me taking up this portion of the tubing and putting it over the tank, emptying all of the water inside of this glass tube here. And I use Sicce tubing here, which is very soft and easy to release. So I just give it a bit of a twist and off this glass pipe comes. And that's really, really simple. That's pretty much it. I then replace it with the clean one and then place it back down here. The back here is the skimmer inflow as well. Same process. All I have to do is lock it. Then I untwist it using the quick release untwist. It comes off like that. I pop it out of the water. Same process again with this soft tubing. Comes off like that. This pops back on to the new glass pipe. I then put it back down here. Click it in with the single suction cup and then relock the quick release taps. Unlock the taps, of course, so that they can freely flow, and then I switch on the filter. So that's pretty much it. That takes roughly around about 1 minute per week for me. All right, everyone. So what do you think about that? 3 things that I do, of course, is pre-filter, Chaeto reactor, and pipes. And that works out to be roughly around about 8 to 10 minutes of maintenance per week. Now, as you all know, I have something called aquarium time, where if you plan on doing something for 10 minutes, chances are you may need to double that time just to ensure you cover all of the extras that need to be done around the aquarium as well. So maintaining this aquarium and all of the functions around it doesn't take up as much time as you think. I found running a canister filter to be just as easy as running a sump. So what are my final thoughts on all of this? Remember how I said there are many different pathways to success in this hobby. You can have different pieces of equipment and different methodologies to get to the same path and destination. For me, that's what I love about this hobby. There are so many things to learn. Unfortunately, there are some things that I don't like about this as well, and that is how people can be so divisive or so dogmatic about specific methodologies or equipment. So if you are thinking about setting up an aquarium, keep an open mind on how you can filter your reef tank. If you're the type of person who's thought, canister filters, they don't sound like a good idea. I hope my videos have shown you a proof of concept as to how you can achieve success with them. As always, I want to say thank you all for joining in on the discussion. If you haven't already done so, please click subscribe at the bottom because I'm going to be releasing videos every single week. And if you like what you saw here, leave a thumbs up. And finally, please leave a comment below. How do you run your reef tank? What is your weekly maintenance schedule like? And how does it compare to the way I run mine? And if you've got a suggestion for a future video, leave it down there as well. And I'll do my best to ensure that that gets added to the list that's growing every single day. I want to say thank you all again for being with me and joining in on the discussion. I will see you all next week. Cheers, everyone. See ya.